Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Mohammad Kholiqul Akbar and my student number is 041. In this video, I'm going to present my poem analysis on title The Majesty of the Power of Beauty in Soul's Beauty by Dante Gabriel Rosetti. Okay guys, let's check it out. So first here we have table of contents. It consists of three parts. First is introduction, which consists poet background, poem background, and the issue. And then the second is the concept. And the third is result and discussion, which consists illustration, general meaning, detailed meaning, conclusion, and references. Okay, let's start our discussion from the introduction. Alright, let's start our discussion from the introduction. Here we have the poet background. Dante Gabriel Rosetti was born to Italian parents in London, England around 1828. Rosetti aspired to be a painter as a child, and he was a gifted child along with his brothers. After school, Rosetti worked as an apprentice to painter Ford's mother Bronze, while also expanding his knowledge and love of book on his own. Rosetti is most known for co-founding the Pre-Raphaelite Brotherhood with a group of fellow painters in 1848. These men shared a passion for poetry and a dislike for fine art convention. His health began to weaken in 1872, and he spent the rest of his life as invalid in his Chelsea home. Rosetti passed away in 1882 after his condition worsened. Okay, the next is poem background. Soul's Beauty, or known as Sonnet 77 by Dante Gabriel Rosetti, was written around May 1866. This is a variation of a Petrarchan sonnet, or Italian sonnet composed of an octave to group of lines by rhyming ABB, AA, and a sestet, or two group of three lines rhyming CD, EE, DC. Unlike a Shakespearean sonnet, the Italian sonnet does not close with a couplet, but the second half of the poem gives a resolution to the first. This particular sonnet, rather than giving an answer, resolves with a spiritual commitment to aestheticism as a religious obsession. In this poem, Rosetti turned to the theme other than spiritual salvation through love because of his sexual frustration. Well, next we get into the issue. So here I bring you the issue, the great power of beauty in life. Sorry for the typo. So Soul's Beauty is a literary work of poetry that shows how beauty can be the main determining factor in life. Rosetti pours out all of his thought on the concept of beauty in this poem. As life goes with death and love, beauty in the cycle of human life. The immense power of beauty takes all intention to the object itself. In this poem, beauty is highly revered and envied, and can lead the earth and human to obey and follow whatever the will of the beauty. From all this, all the life of the world has led to the object where beauty becomes the main thing that is referred in absolute terms. Okay, next part is the concept. In this concept here, we look at the figurative language and the type of imagery that used in this poem. These two analyses will support us in understanding the topic that we brought in this analysis. The figurative language will show how Rosetti described the beauty she meant in her poetry using figure of other words. In this analysis, we find the use of figurative language in the form of personification and simile. While in type of imagery, we will analyze how the topic of beauty is likened to show that we can better feel it using our human sense. In this poem, Rosetti focused on visual imagery that's shown in this poem. From these two terms of analysis, the concept of the majesty of the power of beauty would be revealed. Well, the next part is result and discussion. So in here we will start our discussion with an illustration of the poem. So here the speaker encounters the essence of beauty at the beginning of the poem. Terror, mystery, as well as love and death, encircle and protect her. Beauty is enthroned under the art of life. With all of this component of likeness, it's evident right away that the speaker despises beauty in all of her forms and seems to have a religious passion for her manifestation. The speaker claims that she has complete power over everyone around her. As if she were a god, she was in control and kept an eye on everything. Those who follow her will bend to every demand and go to any length to find her. Then the speaker here shifts her focus to the beats, which may always be heard and following her. This beat is the sound of footfall and heartbeats rushing. Those who come after her are said to be passionately and irreversibly. And then they will follow in every way and every day regardless of the obstacles. They are immediately behind her, their footsteps and hearts pounding in their ears. This is a reference to aesthetic as a type of religion once more. Rosetti's speaker is enamored and devoted to his subject. In everything he sees beauty. Okay, the next discussion is about general meaning. This poem was composed by the poet to demonstrate how the beauty have a power in controlling life. The poet assumes that beauty is enthroned in life as the main thing in life through its appearances. This beauty power is stated explicitly, while the poet strongly explains it in the poem. The lady who has the beauty interact people who around her, men, women, and even sky and the sea. Their heartbeats and footstep is heard around the lady. They will follow every desire of the lady passionately and irretrievably, whatever it is. Okay, next discussion is about detailed meaning. So here we will begin first with the figurative language. So the figurative language, here we have personification and simile. Let's start from the personification first. So in The Soul's Beauty, Rosetti used this figurative language to illustrate some word, mostly around beauty as a human characteristic. We can see in the second line of the poem, terror and mystery guard her shrine. The use of word guard for terror and mystery is kind of personification. Instead of beauty, Rosetti explained that life is also considered by death or other something sad. But beauty is on the top of both of them, that hold life and death to be beautiful. This is personified by the next line, where beauty enthroned. Beauty is inanimate thing which stand on both life and death. This sentence affirms that beauty is still above them all, and is said to be enshrined as if this part of life is more important than all others. This fact is essential to understanding the sonnet, as well as Rosetti's writings and paintings. Next personification is found in the sixth line, the sky and the sea bend on thee. Rosetti illustrates how the nature also recognized that beauty is such a great power in a lady. He stated, well, the sky and sea admire beauty as power that cannot be debatable. Okay, the next figurative language is simile, which is used in the literature to present a comparison by including the word as and like. Simile is also found in The Soul's Beauty. Rosetti used simile to admit the standing of beauty in life. It is stated in fourth line, I drew it in as simply as my breath. He or someone in the poem admit that beauty is the main thing that affects the life and death. He easily admit this term as simply as he breathed, which means it's so easy to admit. Okay, the next detailed meaning that being our second term of analysis is type of imagery. Rosetti also used this term in Soul's Beauty to make the readers feel and conclude by themselves what happened in the poem by giving perceptual clues. The imagery that put by the poet is visual imagery. It is stated in the 11th line, by flying hair and fluttering hand. This sentence reveals how the appearance of beauty lady is. By putting word flying and fluttering, the reader will imagine how the appearance is, and unconsciously they get into the poem. Well guys, we have arrived in conclusion section. So Dante Gabriel Rosetti wrote Soul's Beauty, also known as Sonnet 77, around May 1866. Although it is classified as sonnet because it is formed in 14 lines, Soul's Beauty is different from other sonnet. This sonnet does not close with a couplet, but the second half of the poem gives a resolution to the first, which called Italian sonnet. Rosetti wrote this poem based on his sexual frustration he had because his wife committed suicide after the death of her son. In this poem, he described how beauty has everything. A lady who has a beauty can make those around her amazed with her appearance. Rosetti repeatedly illustrates how the power of beauty is. He used various figurative language such as personification in the sky and sea, and similar in simply as my breath. It is to illustrate her admiration for the power of beauty. Not only that, he also used imagery, especially visual imagery, to get a sense of sight from his readers, as in the sentence by flaying hair and fluttering hem. Rosetti wants the reader to imagine for himself what the beauty lady looks like. All in all, this poem really fulfills the feeling of how beauty can be the main thing as well as the antidote to death. Beauty is a major concern for the community, where Rosetti wrote that they will follow lady who has the beauty in his life, and they will follow it whatever it is. And to conclude our poem analysis from the first introduction to the conclusion section, I have decided the theme on my poem analysis. So the theme is "The beauty on lady play role by its majesty." I hope you enjoy my video and hear also my references to make this poem analysis. Thank you so much for watching. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.